Hello everyone, this is Johannes and you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and today we are taking a look at Pikoko from Brain Games and designer Adam Porter. This is a really different take on the trick-taking genre of card games, and it's really interesting. So let's take a look at how it plays and then we'll come back up. Pikoko is a pretty straightforward game to play where you're gonna have one of these small peacocks, and at the beginning of each round you're gonna draw 8 of these cards. The game is played over 8 rounds and the player with the most points at the end is the winner. So as I said, you're gonna draw 8 of these cards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you are gonna place them up in your peacock like this. I'm not gonna place all of them because it's gonna take some time, so I'm gonna place some here and some here. What makes this game interesting is basically that you are see everybody's cards except your own. So you know what everybody has, but you don't know what you have yourself. After you have played every card, every player has gotten 8 cards. You're going to turn one card over to get a trump. In this case, that's a multicolored card. That's no trump at all. That's just a multicolored card. So let's take another one for example. This is a purple trump for this round. So what's going to happen now is that everybody's going to look at everybody's card except for their own, and they're going to think, how many tricks is that player going to take? And then we're going to take these bidding markers and we're going to blind bid around the table. So let's say we start with red. We're going to bid on the red player. I don't know what the cards are because I can't see them. So let's just say I think red is going to get 2 tricks. And then blue maybe thought that red was going to get 1. And then you're going to do that all around the table, and after you've done that for every player, you're going to do it the last time you're going to bid. You're bidding on yourself, so you see what everybody is bidding on you before you think how many bid tricks you are going to take. And then after that, you have these cards with all of them matching one of the other players, and one is also yourself. So what you're going to do is that you're going to say, I'm pretty sure that my bid on blue is going to be correct, so I'm going to put that down. If I'm unsure, I can play this +1 card, which just basically gives me a point, but no possibility to get any more. So after you've done that, you're going to start playing tricks. And it's basic trick-taking rules, but the thing that's interesting again is that I don't play my own card. The player to my right is playing my card, so let's say blue player is going to start playing one of my cards. Playing this card, for example, then I have to continue playing one card of the same color from the next one, and in this case blue player won the trick and he would put it up there. Of course you can't play this with 2 players, that would be really strange, but you're going to play around the table. If you can play the same color you will have to. If you can't, you can place whatever color you want. If you play a trump, the highest trump is going to win the trick, and so on. And after all the 8 cards, all the 8 tricks have been played, you're going to count out points. And basically the way count points works is that if you're spot on bidding on a player, you will get 2 points. If you are 1 off, you'll get 1 point. And if you are more off than that, you're going to get 0 points. And you're going to go around that, do with all players, and then you're going to reveal your card. And if you are correct on that bid, you're going to get 3 bonus points. And if you are not correct, even if it's only 1 off, you're going to get a negative point. And then you're going to do that 3 more times, and the player with the most points is the winner of Pikoko. And that's basically how you play Pikoko. As you can see, this is a strange mix-up of a trick-taking game, of a Hanabi kind of play style, except that you're not cooperating, you are playing against each other. This is a neat, interesting game, but before we go into gameplay, let's talk about the components of this game. The components of this game are fantastic. They are really, really well done. They're beautiful, they're amazing, they're sturdy. Like, first of all, I love thick cards. I really love cards that you can use, that you're not afraid of shuffling, you don't feel like you need to sleeve them. These are a great quality card, kind of plastic coated, really thick, really feels well. Another thing that's really cool are these peacocks, which is basically a 2-part puzzle that you put together I'm sorry for the glare of this in the video because it's kind of a glary peacock, and you have one of these for each player and you put the cards in them like this. And one thing I was a bit afraid of was, will it be hard to like get the cards? Would that take a long of time? Would that feel like a drag to put 8 cards in here all the time? After you've done it like one time, it's going to be really quick. Another quick thing I really love is that when you put them in here, it's really easy for the player putting them in to know if the other players are going to see the numbers, because they've done this really great thing when designing this card. On the back of the cards, if you can see the feathers of the peacock, then the other players can see your numbers, and that's just an amazing detail, which makes just the setup of each round just so much easier to get done. So components, top notch, really great, beautiful game pieces. That's going to last you a long time if you don't bend them and destroy them and set them on fire. If you don't do that, they're going to last you for a really, really long time. So, gameplay. I like trick-taking games. I always like playing trick-taking games with like a normal deck of cards. I played a couple of strange, different, new like hobby board game trick-taking games. I'm not one of the players who played all of them. I do enjoy them, but it's not my favorite genre, even though I would like to play more of them. This game kind of doesn't feel like a trick-taking game. It feels, because there's so much stuff put around it, that it doesn't feel that way at all. This game is kind of like an almost perfect information game, because if you're playing with 4 players, I know 3/4 of all the cards that are in the game. So in the beginning, when you have the auction, I love auctions, if you know that, like bidding. It's not an auction here, but it's bidding. I love bidding. This is a blind bidding, where you bid on how many tricks the other players are going to get, and sometimes I bid 1 and somebody bid 3. I'm like, what are you thinking about now? It's just something probably something in my hand that I can't see. That's horrible, because you don't know what's in your hand, but you know what's in all the other players' hand. So you're bidding on that, and then you're starting playing, and that's really interesting as well, because the player who is playing your cards can basically make or break the way you will get points. This is kind of a hard game to explain why I enjoy, because it's kind of like a psychological thing. It's kind of like it's this almost perfect information, like almost perfect. You only know like a 3/4 or one part less than number of players. Math isn't my strongest point here in life. That's why I'm a board game reviewer and not a board game designer. But this game is really interesting. This game, the first time we played it, it took us like an hour to play with 5 players, and that felt really long. And I think maybe 5 players is a bit too much. I think the sweet spot for this game is 3 or 4 players. Sunniva thought like 3 players were a little bit too little and 4 players were like the best. I would agree with that, but I also didn't feel like the game was missing anything at 3 players. And after we played a couple of times, we got the playing time down to half an hour, which feels really good for what this game is. It goes fast, it's fun, it's what you want from a game of this type. It's a great filler game, but you feel like there's decision, there's some blind bidding, there's some like guessing, there's some trying to think ahead, doing the thing that feels more logical. And all in all, it's basically not really a trick-taking game. It's more of a bidding game where you want to get other people to get tricks, but then not to get too many tricks. So it is a trick-taking game, but in a very strange way. But I do really enjoy it. It's one of those games where I would just break it out and play it with almost anybody. It's a really simple game to play, simple game to learn. There's some quirks there. If people have played some trick-taking games, it's easier to get them into this, because you can say like, it has the normal trick-taking games with the trump, with all this king, but now we just turn it upside down. And I love that some designers just try to take something that's really out there, some people that something that people have done, do like, what if we just do this? What happens now? What if I don't see my own cards, and basically I'm not even playing for red, I'm playing for green that's on my left. And it all makes this strange, beautiful creation, which I really, really, really enjoy. Final thoughts. I like this game. I think it's a great game if you like trick-taking games. I think this is going to be, or if you feel like you played many trick-taking games and you want something that's completely different, this is the game for you. It's different, it's quick, it's easy to learn the rules, everything makes sense. It's a good game that I would recommend, and that is my review for Pikoko, the trick-taking game from Adam Porter. That's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Please comment down there. What did you think about the review? Have you played the game? Did you enjoy the game? If so, what did you enjoy the most about the game? And if you didn't enjoy the game, please let me know that as well, because I just enjoy interacting and speaking about board games. So, thank you so much for watching. That's everything. Bye bye.